This is Cheri. So I am going to get ready to show you a video or 2 or 3, I'm not quite sure how many I'll do, for our kids session that's coming up. If you are at home with your kids, try to see, I know that there will be moments that drive you crazy, but it goes so fast, those of us that have older kids, and now some of us that have grandkids. I don't yet, but most of my friends do. Not most, a lot. It goes so fast. So I know there will be times that you wish you could shut the door and not see them for the rest of the day. But try to, right now while they're stuck at home with you, get the joy out of it, because they will look back on this time. It's going to make a huge impression on them. No matter how old they are, they're going to remember it. So for the projects that I'm going to show you, I haven't actually made them, which, you know, this has thrown all of us out of our comfort zone. So normally when I filming second nature to me and creating, but normally I have a project 95% of the time. Sometimes I wing it. But I don't do a lot of kids projects. So this morning when I thought, what can I do to show you some kids projects, I kind of thought back to what we used to do and some things that were fun. So I pulled out some stamp sets that I know that will appeal to kids. And then I wanted to just kind of stick with one thing of paper. So look at this bright and cheery little set of paper. Well, it's not little, it's 12 by 12. So I know it's not hardly even getting in the camera. So it is called See a Silhouette. It's just got lots of, I don't think all the patterns are showing. Maybe they are. And there may be some that I've used. But it's bright and cheery, and I know your kids would love it. It's easy to work with. It kind of looks like they painted them. So this first card that I'm going to show you is more of a service project card. So I've got some white cardstock, and then I cut this piece here to be a 1/4 inch shorter. So this is to service for white. I'm going to fold it in half. Then you're going to like some of the other stuff I did. If you caught my Facebook Live last night as part of our event, then I've got some pieces laying here that as I was cleaning out my space, I'm going to tell you my studio is going to be the hottest mess when this is done, because when you just keep creating and you're not cleaning anything up and you're just moving it aside. So I was going to throw this in the trash, but I may try to use it. So here, this is cut a 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. And then on the other side of this, it happens to be red. So I'm going to use, I haven't pulled this out, and I'm going to ask the girls who are also doing this with us if they can get out their samples, because we all loved this set back last fall when it was super popular. It's called Harvest Hellos, and it's got a pumpkin and an apple, and then a piece of an apple, and it's got the little jack-o'-lantern face. So it was really big last fall, but I haven't used it since the fall. So it's got the stamps. We're not going to actually use the stamps except for the one to an A+ teacher. So we're going to make a little teacher card that if you have kids at home who now maybe think their teacher's not quite so bad, they could make this for their teachers or for all the teachers at their school, and you could send them out. So we have this punch, and you can see if it stamps, if you stamp this, then it will cut it out. But assuming that your kids are going to use it, we'll go ahead. We'll assume your child's a little bit older. So let's pull this out. This is what happens when, and I have never even used that one. So I'm going to have to put it on. So let's put this on. Pull the one off I used last night. So you can see stamp the apple here. And then I'm going to decide on this paper how red I want my apple to be. I'm going to go down for this end. If you were making a whole bunch, they'd all just be different colored of apples. And then I need to remember, because I haven't used this since last year, it goes this way. You just want to make sure that you're stamping the direction that your punch goes. So if you're doing it with your kids, you would just tell them the first one, unless they're old enough. And so then you just slide this in here. Just like that. And then we have an apple. You can see it also punches out a stem and a leaf, but I'm going to get a different leaf. So I want a green one. And then we have another punch that does different sized banners. And I've cut a piece of Granny Apple green to 2 inches, and you just slide it in there. Oops, it helps if you open your punch. So just slide that in there all the way back till it stops, and punch that off, and now we'll have a little banner. So we can stick that on. And then whatever I don't need of this, I'm going to be able to get my leaf out of. So let's stick this together. And you can decide if you want this to go that way. I'm gonna make it go this way, I think. I kind of like that. So put that there. That looks good. We always do that. We turn it over. I could have put the glue on the other side or the adhesive because it didn't matter. It's just the same color, but we all have a tendency to do that. Turn this over and just trim that off. And now I have this little piece here that I can get a couple of leaves. So just stick it in the corner. Oops. I was trying to not let it fly. I was going to give you a hint and I was thinking at the same time. So just put your hand over the top. As you can see, that one kind of flew, but mine might fly because, yep, there it goes. Got that one. You get a whole bunch of leaves out of just a tiny little piece of paper. So you could, in fact, take the punch and make a fun wreath for your card if you just kept punching little leaves out of all different colors. I've done that. It's a little time consuming, but hey, a lot of us have that right now. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna pull out to an A+ teacher. So it'd also be great if for teachers' retirements or at the beginning of the year. I mean, you'll be able to use it for years to come. If you work at a school or you're in a PTA, this is what happens when you've never used a stamp. I'm gonna just stick it on the back of the one that I used last night because I haven't cleaned anything up yet. Went to bed late, got up early. I'm just gonna put that there. Looks like a child stamped it. So there you go. Let's stick this here. But before I do, I had this little piece of ribbon. If you watched last night, it's the cut-offs when I had too big of a piece from another card. And it just so happens that it matches this card too. So you might have thought last night, oh, if it was me, I wouldn't cut that much ribbon off. But if you just save all these, I have a tiny little jar over there. And I just save all these pieces. So it wasn't wasting it at all. Put some more adhesive there. And I'm gonna just kind of wrinkle these up so they don't look exactly like the paper that they're on top of. And this is a great thing for your kids to do because, you know, it's wrinkling paper. In fact, if you wrinkle it enough, they can pull in half and you can get 2 or 3 leaves if you're making a wreath. Then you don't have to punch so many, and they have a little bit of texture. And have your kids make a little wreath. That will give them lots of stuff to do. So now I don't even need the second one that I punched. Let me put the adhesive on here. If your kids are doing it, just let them use a glue stick. So there we go. Simple, easy, and your kids can do it. Now I'm gonna show you a couple of other cards that I've made with this stamp set, but because they were made in the fall, most of them use stuff that you can't get anymore, paper-wise. So if you like it and you love it, then you could ask whichever demonstrator invited you to this event that gave you your code, and she could suggest some substitutions because some of the papers we don't have anymore. But here's one just with the apple. Your kids could also make this too. This time I just colored in the apple. This one, if you have an older child, they could make, but it's a piecing where I punched the pumpkin out a whole bunch of times on the different papers, which would be kind of fun on this bright paper, and then I just pieced them all back together. But we don't have this paper anymore. Same with it, it's the same paper. And then this one is a little flip card. And here's just another little pumpkin. So you can see that it's not just a teacher card. I didn't want you to think that that was all you could do with it. And this was one of the most popular cards that I did last fall. So there you go. That's one thing that you can do with your kids. Have them making some thank you cards. It also has a feel better soon and a welcome back You make me smile has Hey There Pumpkin. That's my favorite saying out of it. But that's a fun little set. It's called Harvest Hellos. And if you have any questions, just ask in the comments. If I'm busy filming something else, a lot of the girls will be able to help you. So there you go. Have a great day.